Welcome to the Hoppothetically podcast with Nikki Downtown and Fat Nate. We provide thoughtful and correct answers to probably the most important questions in the world. I'm a New York City-based comedian. Nathan is a New York City-based dyslexic. Thank you so much for being here. We hope you enjoy the show. Hypothetically, episode 41. We just recorded a stupid fucking riff that I'm cutting out because it doesn't have audio. I'm not putting out stuff that doesn't have audio. And that just happened to my special. So I recorded a special. It went well. Then I recorded a naked version of it, which did not go well. I want to talk about that. If you advertise naked comedy show, people who are interested in weird art come. Yeah. If you advertise that you will be naked on a comedy show, people who want to fuck you come. And they do not laugh.
No.
They wait. Mm-hmm. They just sit there in their chairs crouched, waiting for you to stop talking to
pounce.
Try to pounce.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally what happened.
And I like that they all individually think they're going to just pounce on you, and then when we get there, they realize there's competition. It's like now there's 50 people all trying to do it. It's a different game then.
For some reason, none of them were like, well, what if I fake laugh at his jokes? Maybe that'll help. None of that didn't occur to really any of them. In fact, a lot of them just decided to talk through the special, those drunk gays. It was all gay men. Not a lot of women came to the thing.
The naked showing of you.
Anyway, so we filmed both. I started editing it, and I realized my editor didn't record the audio for the first 20 minutes of the show that went well. I've been talking about this a lot lately with people. Not with people so much. I've been saying this a lot. I'm very practiced at saying this. Did you notice my my speed and clarity explaining that situation?
It's better than the first 3 times you explained it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're getting much better at...
Yeah, it's more succinct and more angry.
Yeah. And it's weird because I'm getting less interested each and every...
Well, I have to, because I keep telling the same thing to people over and over again, so I have to keep making it better to counteract that they are not interested.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, what else is up with you, Nathan?
I had a whole section.
Yep, but what else? Barring the thing we already talked about.
We took a long hiatus, but I don't remember the podcast being so hostile.
We take a lot of hiatuses, huh?
Mm-hmm. We talked about that last time. Is that why you're... I think the next thing we should do to improve the podcast is get an HR department. And it's not so I could immediately report you for making it a hostile...
There would be all these anonymous claims all about me.
Yeah. Someone, we're not going to name names, is complaining a lot about how their naked special...
Sexual harassment. Bullshit!
Yeah, Nick, you can't do tickle fights in the workplace. And we're not naming names and who you tried to tickle, but you can't tickle them.
I wonder if that could be a business. Could you just be an HR for a ton of small companies?
Yeah.
You're just the de facto HR?
Yeah. I worked at a small company. We had an HR lady. She worked a few hours a week. I mean, you only do stuff if people bring stuff up. And then most of the time you just sweep it under the rug anyway. You're not going to actually solve the problem. You hear about sexual harassment, you just gaslight them for 10 minutes and then you go on with your day. That's your whole job. You can get it done in an hour. Yeah, sad note.
No, I don't really care.
Is there prerequisites to being an HR person?
Just be a bitchy narc. You know how teachers are all about how they're all heroes and all that shit? Mm-hmm. I'm honestly surprised HR hasn't tried for that. That they're who the real heroes are is HR.
Yeah. I think the Me Too movement, for the most part, is a big showing of how they're not doing a killer job. There's just all these people coming out all the time saying HR has been very ineffectual. The win rate isn't great.
We had a good riff, which has gone unrecorded.
Do you want to go to questions? So you know that scene in It Part 2 where that...
No, I haven't seen It Part 2.
Really?
You said it was on your recommendation. You said it was bad, so I didn't watch it.
It was bad. Okay, well, so in It, they all, after the first movie or the first book, if you ever read it, all the kids beat this alien clown monster, and then they all leave and go their own separate ways and all leave that small town they live in, except one of them who stays in case it returns. And then when it returns, he calls them each individually and basically goes, hey, you guys got to come back. We got to fight it again. He's back again. We got to go fight him. In this question, you're getting the call and your response is no, I think it's fine. I don't think we need to. I think we should just let the next generation handle that. I don't think we really need to fight him. I think he was pleasant. I think he was an addition to the town. You're doing one of those to him.
Well, the first thing I think is a funny premise is the one guy who stays in the shitty hometown. And I think he's just using it as an excuse. Hey, man, why do you just work at the hardware store and smoke weed all the time? Someone's got to protect us from it. It looks like you just Drink. You have a son. Do you hang out with your son? I have no time for my son. Or child support. Someone has to stand guard against it.
Yeah, the best way I can help my child is protecting him for when it comes and tries to take him. Mm-hmm. And they're like, have you been doing things to prepare for when he returns?
Or like he uses it all the time as an excuse to like try to get his buddies to come drink with him. Oh, it's back at the bar. You gotta come right now. Is this Sean? You say this every single time. It's not at the bar. No, it's totally at the bar.
Yeah, and it needs the only way to beat him is to bring 50 in singles.
Yeah, when you say it, is it a friend of your son's mom that you're trying to get with? Is that it? Maybe that's it. I'm not coming to the bar. Come on.
I think he could also use it for smaller stuff, like just getting out of conversations. Like he's on a phone call with someone and it's dragging on a little long. He's like, oh no, it's here. I gotta go fight him. Bye. My question was if
you're trying to get out of fighting it?
Yeah, you're trying to get out of fighting it by just giving excuses for why you can't.
I wonder if you could convince people that you have your own monster and wherever you move to. You know, you have it. We have that. We have that. Yeah. That makes it look like this.
Yeah. And and they're like, what is he? He's 2 clowns.
Yeah.
Wait, what? It's shape-shifting. It's like, yeah.
This one shape-shifts into 2 of everything that it was.
It's twice as scary.
Remember when it became a scary picture? Well, it's 2. And they don't even go together. So it just makes the wall look weird. You don't want to go fight it again. I mean, I actually think you could make a genuine case.
Oh, really?
For that. Well, yeah. I mean, if 6 kids beat it, you're like, all right, well, what does that translate to? Like 2 adults?
Yeah.
Well, you want all of us to come back, you bum? Like, I'm not going to take off work to fight it to save a small town that I don't live in.
You think you could just say you don't have the PTO? Like, do you think that would be enough? You're like, I actually don't have the PTO. You think that would...
Yeah, you have to take actual vacation.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to... That's not... You can't explain that to your work. I have to go fight a demon clown.
No. You got to say you're going to the
Why
beaches.
do you have to fight the demon clown? Because I fought it as a kid. It's... I don't know. It's bonding for... I don't know exactly.
Yeah, it's like, do other people know about it in the town? Like, yeah, he's terrorizing everyone. It's like, the police? It's like, no,
why do you call you and not the police? I don't know. He's lonely.
He works at a library, and this is pretty much the highlight of his
I think
life.
The police don't answer his calls anymore because he always calls them and makes shit up for attention. I think my friend is sick. Could all the kids see it?
Yeah.
Like every kid in the whole town can see it?
Yeah. Also, one of them doesn't actually, this is some spoilers, but one of them actually doesn't go to fight it, but he gets out of it by killing himself. So.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah. That one of them just, instead of going, hey guys, I can't make it, he offs himself because he feels like.
Because he's so scared or because he's guilty?
Scared.
Again, it's the thing that you beat. However, whatever it can turn into, you beat it as a kid.
Yeah.
By just hitting it with your kid strength.
And the chances that he'll get to, like, if you moved all the way to Connecticut, the chances that he'll go to Connecticut for that, pretty low. He doesn't know the internet. He doesn't know how to get across state lines. He's not coming for you.
Plus, it just scares you.
Well, it eats children in that small town. But they looked up the history of this. They knew he just ate children in that small town. I'm not trying to be a bad guy, but I'm like, I don't think that's even... If you were looking at how to save the most amount of human life, you wouldn't start at it, you know?
It's kind of like people who built their houses back after Katrina, like in the same spots. It's like, why are you guys still... There's a killer... Move.
And they're like, no, it's a part of our heritage. We want to stay here. Yeah.
My grandpa's firstborn was eaten by a killer clown, and my brother was eaten by... And now God damn it, my son's going to be...
eaten by a killer. It's just a rite of passage. What if you kept just being like, no, I'm really scared of airplane rides. I can't go fight the killer clown because the airplane ride would be too scared. Like, you sure it's not it? Nope. I'm totally fine with shape-shifting demon clowns. I just don't like, after 9/11, just airplanes has been a lot for me.
How does that work? What if your fear is 9/11? What does it do? Just keeps playing that one song on the radio.
Wake Me Up.
Have you forgotten?
I was going to do Wake Me Up.
How it felt that day with your homeland under... The guy who wrote that song is it.
Oh,
yeah. I think South Park actually did a whole thing about that guy.
Yeah, I don't know how he deals with abstract fears of things.
You know, I get kind of intimidated by reading. So for me, the book It was it.
Yeah, like, for instance, I don't know how he gets, like, really...
Oh, no, actually, that's true of you.
I was going to go with, I don't know how he gets, like, really closeted gay or men or women. Just becomes, like, a sexy person and tries to seduce them.
Yeah, he, like, Epstein's them.
But then the problem is the moment they come out, he has to switch genders because now they're, once they've become...
I don't think that's what being gay is. Once you come out as gay, you're like, no, I touched a woman. Oh, now that bothers me.
Oh yeah, I thought if you were homophobic and you came out, you're now.
I don't think you retroactively go back in time and you're like, oh. The question is, you're on a flight, a really long flight where they serve breakfast, and you get like an egg.
What?
You get like it's like you get eggs. Let's just say it's eggs, but it's not. It's like it's like a bad omelet, imagine a nothing omelet, like just eggs. Anyway, so you eat your eggs, and you look over. Next to you is sitting like a 7-year-old girl, and she really looks like she's not going to eat her eggs. She's been just sitting there not eating her eggs for a while. She took like one bite, and you like really want those eggs. Would you?
They don't sound good.
Would you? They're good to you. You're hungry. They're not good if you have the whole world at your disposal, but on the plane right now, they're good. You just watched 3 movies in a row, and all you have to take a break between seeing The Departed again and Troy with Brad Pitt's ass is eggs.
I think.
Would you ask a little girl for her eggs?
No, I think what I would do is be like, oh no, there's turbulence, and then I fall over onto her tray and just slurp up all the eggs, and then I'm like, oh, that was crazy turbulence, and then I sit back down and keep watching.
You can't slurp up eggs.
You can?
No. You would have to like.
Yeah, fine, I do that. It doesn't. The mechanism in which I inhale it. You just try to get as much as your. Fine,
no,
maybe you don't get the whole thing, but you get as much as you can in your mouth, and then you get back up, and then if you want more, you just more turbulence.
I don't think you putting your head is as big as her whole body. You putting your just head in her space and yelling, "Oh no!" I don't think that's. Plus, no one else is experiencing turbulence.
Okay, maybe you grab the seat next to you and you shake that one too.
The seat next to you is her.
Yeah,
so you're shaking this little girl going, "Oh no!"
Well, then she'll be like,
in your scenario, you get a bite of eggs and then her parents come kill you.
I mean,
or like a marshal of some kind.
If I get arrested by a marshal and I get put in the back room, I mean, Troy isn't that good of a movie. Like, I think it's worth the eggs. How would you do it? What's your big move? You'd ask the kids?
I got really close to being like, hey, can I have your egg?
Dude, I think you get arrested too for that one.
I think like for a little kid, a strange man being like, give me your eggs. I think that's like
too much. Also, it's just, I think if you, in either situation, you don't get the eggs, but at least in my situation, you get more eggs.
Maybe if I asked, I would try to like make it a life lesson. I'd take him and be like, you shouldn't have given me these eggs. You can't have them back.
What if you just switch the trays out when they weren't looking or something?
Do you understand what a plane is? Like, where do you look except the eggs are in front of you here and you can't move?
Well, they go to the bathroom or something.
She didn't go to the bathroom. She just stayed there. You have to ask. Maybe you just lean in instead of asking, just being like, you know what? I'm the adult. Give me your eggs. Also, she was, English was not her first language.
Shit. This is impossible. If you ask her for eggs and she says something in another language, you're like, thank you, and then you can just take them.
Maybe I could have done this because she didn't eat the eggs and the stewardesses come by and took everything. When the steward just took her eggs, if I was like, can I have those eggs? I think she'd be like,
I don't think they'll give them to you.
I don't know.
I worked in the restaurant industry. You weren't allowed to give, because it's like a liability that you can't do that.
Maybe I'd be like, she stole my eggs. I could get that going. I could accuse this little girl of stealing my eggs.
Did you think about asking them for more eggs? Just asking the fucking stewardess when she comes by, can I have more eggs? Before you...
Can I be totally honest?
Yeah.
I wanted her eggs. I wanted her eggs and I wanted her to not have eggs.
I'm just like, you keep doing all this stuff and it's like, why didn't you just ask for more fucking eggs?
I was too nervous.
I'm sure they would have... I bet they cost 10 cents.
You know how like...
Would you have bought more eggs?
Boughton's not a word.
Bought more eggs?
Eggs is not a word. You know how like sometimes it's intimidating to send food back? But I could bother a 10-year-old girl. You know what I mean? If like you're... Like, which would you rather do? There's something wrong with your food. Okay? No one will ever know what you did. You either have to tell the waiter and the chef that you want it back, or 10-year-old girl right there.
I think you could just not...
All you got to do is be like, ah! And then you take your food.
I think you could probably, instead of harassing, in all the different ways we have and will describe harassing this young, non-English speaking woman... Girl for her food, which...
It's not cool that you called her a woman.
Fine.
It's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Sounds like, Your Honor, she seemed like a woman. You should have seen how she ate those eggs.
But instead of harassing this girl, you could just get more shitty eggs or ask for any other food. Or just don't eat. You don't eat them. They don't taste good. They're not enjoyable. You're just bored. You're just bored on a plane. Don't bored eat eggs on a plane. You're better than that.
I wonder what would have sincerely happened if just tapped the girl and was like, What are you doing? 2 goddamn eggs.
Yeah. Do you not know how to eat eggs? This is how you eat eggs. And then you grab a little bit of eggs and eat it. You're like, that's how you eat eggs.
Would it have helped or made it any different for you if it was a finger food? Like if it was a sandwich that you didn't eat?
No, I think what you should have asked for more, and you shouldn't have.
Who would you be more likely to ask? A little girl or an old woman for her eggs?
I think you just take the old woman's eggs. No one's going to feel sympathy. And you can just gaslight her. I think that's kind of the move.
I think people will feel sympathy if you take an old woman's eggs.
You could just say she's senile. Well, she didn't have eggs.
Well, she found her way onto the plane.
You could say it's your grandmother. She's senile. And then you switch the trace.
Yeah, but I'm actually asking, though. Who would you be more likely to ask?
I wouldn't.
How much money would it take for you to ask the little girl?
I wouldn't ask. I wouldn't. I don't need
for $100.
No, I don't need money. And I don't need the eggs that badly. I don't want the eggs. So it's asking someone I really don't want to ask because it'd make me uncomfortable with an uncomfortable amount for money I don't want.
What if, gun to your head, ask her for eggs?
Then I would ask her for eggs.
Would you mention that you are allowed to tell her the situation you're in?
I would.
But that might just scare her more.
Yeah, probably. We're on a plane and there's a guy with a gun, and for some reason he just wants your eggs.
He wants you to eat her eggs. Would you tell the little girl? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm under threat of death.
Yeah, but what if she's like, where's the gun, man?
She probably wouldn't. She'd be like, don't. He'll shoot both of us. Can I have your egg? You could just use that even if there isn't a gunman.
What if she screams like there's a man with a gun on the plane and you're the only guy near her, so they're going to check you first. And you did bring a gun on the plane because you wanted those eggs. Or maybe you didn't because we're playing, this one is in the real world or something.
They're all in the real world.
No, the last one wasn't.
Changing the name of the show to Nick Hopping in the Real World.
Okay, Nick, can we do another question?
Yeah, I guess. You didn't really play along that well, I don't think. Let's do another question.
No, I try to go in a weird...
Whatever. Next question. Don't try to save it now. You're like my editor. There's nothing you can do. Apologies mean nothing.
Jesus Christ.
What if you found out the active ingredient in meth was actually love, and that people being like, that was inside them the whole time?
I think it's not alcohol, but there's one for like drugs.
Narcotics Anonymous?
Yeah, Narcotics Anonymous would be more distant. They're like trying to not be addicted. The last time I had a hug or loved my mom was 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Nice. How do you deal with it? It's crippling. I stopped doing the drugs, and then I realized I wasn't allowed any affection from anyone I loved anymore, because apparently I was highly addicted to it. So now I just sit alone.
Yeah, that's true. Your parents would have to they'd have to distance you because they love you.
Yeah.
But then you would know that that's what they were doing, which would get you back into the meth.
Yeah.
They would have to be just absurd and confusing. You'd be like, "Hi, Mom." She'd be like, "I just shit in my hand." You're like, wow, I can't read that.
I think hugs would be a little much. I think when my mom gave me a hug, I'd be like this. Nope. This is too good. I don't like it. I think most people would have very isolated lives.
You should try saying that to Mom next time she hugs you.
It feels
too
good.
Nope. This is too good. You have to stop. See what that does to the relationship.
We've already me and Mom have made it through her accidentally kissing me on the mouth, so I think we can handle it.
And then you accidentally going arriba right after.
No, it was like a Tom Brady thing. Like I went, but it wasn't like intentional.
Were you guys talking about Tom Brady? Hey, Mom, do you hear that Tom Brady story? Oh, you mean the one where this happened?
No. I went to like kiss her on the head before I went upstairs, and I think she went to do the same thing. And then because we both went up, and then I didn't talk to her for like a day or two. I ran upstairs and just didn't talk to her for a while.
Really?
Yeah. I still don't talk to her. You kiss your mom on the mouth once. Maybe that's how that's how you deal with the meth addicts. They're just trying to look for love now because they're trying to make up for their meth addiction. Once you get them to kiss their mother and their family members on the mouth, they just quit.
Go, you know what? The active ingredient in meth is love. But they still cut it with fentanyl.
Yeah, they cut it with fentanyl. Fuck done.
Yeah, but it's love.
When the Powerpuff Girls thing comes on at the end, they're like, and that's how you make meth. We just showed you all the steps.
That'd be too bad. The Powerpuff Girls, like a new one. The secret ingredient, Chemical X, is fentanyl. Chemical X was cut with fentanyl.
Yeah.
And Bubbles doesn't wake up.
No, she ODs. The other two have magic powers, but she ODs.
Yeah, but they're like addicted when they're shaking. Chemical X. Professor Utonium goes back to MS-13 where he got Chemical X from, and he's like, "What the fuck, SA?" And then he gets killed, of course.
Yeah.
They don't have gangs in Powerpuff Girls. They don't touch on that.
No. Well, they have a monkey with a big brain.
And him, the devil, but also a lobster and also transgender.
You think the other villains were like, can you pick one? We all picked one. Like, I'm a monkey with a big brain. That guy has one thing. You have like 7. And I can't.
Yeah, it does feel like him was like all the writers who didn't get a contribute.
Yeah.
Like, all right, everyone gets a thing, and it's a yes to everything.
And then him's like, is this because I'm transgender? It's like, no, if you were just a transgender villain, that'd be fine. But you're also a lobster devil. It's just a little much.
And he's more like androgynous, I guess.
Yeah. He's not non-binary, probably the better word.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even really do anything with the lobster other than the claws.
You know, there was a school shooting, by the first one by a transgender person. Probably got there like, oh, you fucking girl's gonna shoot up the place, and he goes, I'm a boy now, and they were like, no. Kind of dark, huh?
Yeah.
A little dark. It takes me a while to edit these, though, so I think America will move past this by the time this comes out.
The active ingredient in meth is love.
It was Breaking Bad. That was all about meth. And Walt, that you could kind of still keep it the
it's
same.
about
Walt,
family.
Walt is able to, he's the best meth cook because, you know, he was just like a good dude. You know how Walt's son has the funny, noodly funny, he's all disabled and stuff?
Jesus Christ. Yes, I know Walt has disabilities. Yeah. Do you have anything for that, or do you just want to say the weird noodly?
You know, anybody who has that disability has a huge cock. Don't know if that's true, but why fight me on it? Why can't you just let them have that?
Can I do my question now? I'm not going to touch.
That's why he can't walk.
I'm not going to touch any of this stuff.
It's been a minute since we've done the podcast. I'm having a hard time. I don't know.
Yeah, you feel you're in a weird mind.
Nathan didn't record the beginning of this.
You're trying to go play Jumanji with your girlfriend, and it's like clearly a role-playing game, but she just like won't get into it. And you're like, no, we're like actually different people now in a world with lions. She's like, yeah, I don't care. Let's just finish up so we can go to dinner. Like, how do you deal with that?
Wait, so we're like sucked into the board game Jumanji.
You're playing Jumanji, but she just like won't get into it. She doesn't really care. It's like there's a lion attacking us, and she's like,
Wow,
yeah.
You really like this game.
Yeah.
I'm being eaten. All right, maybe have your friends come over next time.
Yeah. I just don't feel like you want to try out a new board game. Maybe I'm just not the person I'm just not that into role-playing games.
I'm not a board game lady. She gets annoyed when you're trying to teach her the rules. Yeah, so when there's bears, you run away. Oh my God, you're mansplaining.
Could we just play and we'll figure it out as we go? It's like, no, we can't. We'll die.
Why? Let's just make up rules that we like better. There's an asteroid. Whatever. Let's just not do that. The asteroid part's dumb. I don't like that part. Remember Zathura?
Yeah. Zathura.
They should have incorporated into the movie Zathura that Jumanji exists and this is a knockoff. Oh, wow, aliens, but they're cheap looking. Cardboard aliens. I mean, they're still threatening, but they suck.
Yeah, I went to Costco and got this Zathura game. You guys want to try it?
Yeah, there would be like knockoffs.
Yeah. I don't know how you would make a Jumanji with less of a budget. Is it just a guy
It's
in
just like a bad part of town. Yeah, if you liked Jumanji, you'll also like Chicago. So your girlfriend's just not into it. I think it'd be fun if they made a Jumanji, but it's Monopoly, and then you're a hat.
You turn into a and when you come back to when the game is over, you're like, what was it like? And you were like,
It was like nothingness.
yeah, I didn't experience anything.
I'm told I moved and made purchases, but I was a hat.
And I felt and experienced nothing but the craving of a warm cranium to fit inside me.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
Just
so
wanted a
deep.
head to dump my mercury on.
Yeah. And they're like, what? And they're like, I still want it.
Yeah, just for the rest of their life, they're hugging the tops of people's heads. Just let's do 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
What other ones? There's the race car.
Tip me. There's the race car. There's the hat. There's the iron. But nobody picks the iron.
I like the iron.
No, you pick everyone wants the top hat. And then number 2 is race car. And then if you don't get those 2, it's like, don't fucking play Monopoly.
I want to play Monopoly and I'm the iron, but my gimmick is that, because I'm like a housewife, so I don't participate in the purchases. Every time I land on a space, I'm like, we'll have to wait till my husband gets here. And then everyone's like, are you going to buy it or not? I'm like, we're going to wait till my husband. I really commit to the character and everyone's mad at me. I wouldn't feel, he has the credit cards. I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Like, ma'am,
are you flirting with me? And I would slap people.
Yeah, ma'am, you need to leave then.
I go straight to jail. Yeah. I need to go to woman jail. Where is that? I'm not going until my husband gets here. I'm really all about that. You just pass go. What did you call me?
When you pass go, someone slaps your ass.
Yeah. Damn it, every time.
You pass go, you do not get your ass slapped. You do not get $200.
Okay, you remember that Pepsi commercial that got in trouble? It was like the rioters.
Yeah.
And they hand them a Pepsi. Mm-hmm. And then they were like all mad. Mm-hmm. What if, who was it?
One of the Jenners.
Really?
Yeah.
What if
Kylie Jenner? Maybe I don't know the Jenner's name.
What if the actress came out, or maybe Pepsi had a statement after there was all the blowback and was like, "No, the Pepsi was poisoned. You all missed the point. That policeman died.
Yeah, killed the police."
And then the police are mad, so then Pepsi has to come out.
But
and then the police are like, "What the fuck?"
But not deadly It was poison, but not like deadly poison. It was like a laxative.
There was a cure. And the protesters are like, what? And like, invented by a black man? Okay.
I feel like you could just tone it down and just say it was like shaken. Or it's like, they're not going to like it. The pops would be like, oh, it's upsetting, but not too upsetting to make a whole big fuss about it. Like, I don't even mind.
What about a series? It's called Young James Bond. Okay, it's a 10-year-old James Bond.
Is it Young Sheldon or
Wait, no. Young James Bond. It's a 10-year-old James Bond, and he goes to the bar and he goes, I'll have a Pepsi, shaken, not stirred. And then he gets Pepsi and he goes, psh, and it gets him in the face every single time. That's the gag. Give me a Pepsi, shaken up. Damn it! And then his mom's like, your tuxedo, James! Every time!
We're not taking it to the dry cleaners anymore. He's like, no,
Mom!
it's my only outfit. Mom, we have to clean it. Then why don't you just wear t-shirts and shorts? You keep getting bullied at school. Keep coming in with Pepsi all over your fucking face and all over your goddamn suit. They're all wearing t-shirts. You can't play at recess.
I think he really dropped the James Bond part of that and just was a mom talking to any kid.
Well, if they wore a suit.
James Bond does more than wear a tuxedo.
No,
In many movies, he doesn't
not
wear a
at
tuxedo.
10. What else does he do? Fuck women?
If I was going to
He still
say
fucks
something else,
He still fucks adult women?
that's how suave he is.
Yeah, he's just fucking pussy galore at goddamn 12. The teachers are really uncomfortable around him. It's like, I don't...
Yeah, Pussy Galore's name when she was a child was Pussy,
galore, yeah.
His parents are probably in jail for naming her Pussy Galore. I didn't really know my father.
Yeah.
All I know of him is that he named me Pussy. Our last name wasn't even Galore. He changed his name.
Do you think when they named it, the mom, she was holding the baby and she was like, I know what we should name her. And he's like, what? He's like, Pussy.
Yeah.
and he's like, don't you think it's gonna be a problem? And she's like, why wouldn't that be a problem? It's like, but I mean, like pussy, like vagina pussy. And she's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they had a son whose name is just like Derek or something.
Yeah, Derek and Pussy.
I named my son Derek after my father, and I named my daughter Pussy after my wife's pussy. Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah. It's like, well, how was the pussy? Fine.
Yeah, I held my daughter in my hand, and I thought, what's a name? And I scanned the room.
Do you think it'd be worse if you found out it was a family name? Like her dad, her dad was named Pussy and her grandfather was named Pussy.
What would you actually do if you found out that your grandfather named his penis and really, really emphatically went by it? Like his dick's name was Carl, and then also dad did it in keeping with that. And he just tells you, just so you know, we all call our dicks Carl, and we really do it.
I like to hope that if that was the case, one day I would be getting in the shower and I'd look down at my penis and I'd be like, is that you, Carl? And then it would just come to me, you know? So it wouldn't be that my dad would tell me. I would go to him and be like, I think my penis might be named Carl.
He wouldn't have to say anything. He would just...
Yeah, you would look him in the eyes and you would just know. Carl. Yeah. That's how I think
Did you get a boner? No, I got a Carl. I got Carl.
What was the question?
I was sitting in the shower today. Sitting. And you kind of slip, so I leaned back, and I was kind of like on my neck and almost doing a handstand.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm talking about? And when you're kind of upside down and your legs are up, you really see how fat your thighs are. Just an observation I had. I was like, I got fat thighs, and I jiggled them.
Question.
Oh, yeah, the Pepsi commercial.
Oh, yeah. You were saying, how would you escalate it past poison?
Maybe they could try to, like, the Pepsi was poison, and the cops are like, what the fuck? And they mean, like, no, like, Pepsis are it's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
And then the Pepsi people are like, don't say that. And then they're like, but sugar.
Like sugar made of snake venom.
Yeah.
That's not in every other Pepsi, but just was in that one. And they're like, what the fuck? And like, like snake poison is just like what the youth are calling fun.
You know what would have been amazing? Coke recreated that Pepsi commercial with a Pepsi and just played the commercial, and then after the commercial they were just like, Coke, we didn't do that.
Oh, I was gonna go the other way, where instead of a person peacefully giving the cops a Pepsi, it's the other way, where the cops are violently throwing Cokes at civilian.
More conflict.
Yeah. They put the Coke in like a beanbag shotgun and just blow it at one of the like Coke. We went the other way on it.
I think they really could, though, Coke could have just bought the rights to that commercial.
Oh, and just kept playing it.
But then just edit in, there's that commercial happening, and then it just cuts to someone like sitting away in a chair just drinking a Coke, like, what? And then it cuts back to the commercial, and it cuts back to the person just like, Coke. How would you revitalize church to get the young people in. And I have a thought. Remember when escape rooms were all the craze? Mm-hmm. You could have an escape room, but then priests get to be in there and do the church until you can figure out how to get out of there.
I was going to go like the body of Christ is bread, the blood of Christ is wine, and the breath of Christ is a vape hit.
Oh, it's just a third station.
Yeah, but it's a vape that everybody hits.
And it's not symbolic.
No.
So this symbolizes the breath of Christ. No, this is how Jesus breathed. It was raspberry flavor. Wow, he was an amazing guy. Is that one of the miracles? Yeah.
Yeah. They make the 12 stages of the cross or whatever. But they have a 13 stage where he's just hitting a fat O.
People have kind of said this sort of thing before, but I bet he's not into how much we compartmentalize and memorized. Remember then when they whipped you? Yeah, I remember. And then after they whipped you, they spit on you and said you had a little dick. We worship that.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of wanted to forget parts of that.
Yeah. I can
remember when you dropped the cross again? That's part of it. He drops the cross twice, and they wrote that down. Oh, he dropped it again. Interesting.
And he's like, you carry it. You fucking carry it. Goddamn try. And we drop the cross again to get that sick vape it in or dab. How would you do it?
I had a thought. You know about all the priests fucking the kids?
Yeah.
They should have priests that are kids. That way when they fuck the kids, it's a little better. You see?
Yeah, when it's a priest fucking all the 10-year-old boys, it's a 12-year-old girl.
12-year-old. No, women can't be.
Yeah.
No, it's a 12-year-old boy, but at least the other kids have a shot at it.
That's worse.
Yeah. They have a chance.
It's a fair fight.
Exactly.
He is a little bigger, though. We're not trying to get rid of it. We're just trying to minimize it. The bigger 10-year-olds will escape.
What would happen if a priest during the homily talked about, like, finally just openly addressed, like, you know what? It's really fucked up, all of the molestations that have been happening. So if anyone after Mass wants to, you may come and molest me. Open molesting church will be from 9 to 10, and then molesting Father Nick will be from 10 to 10:15.
Like that thing, I think it was, who's the guy from
15 minutes to molest Father Nick? I don't know. That doesn't seem like enough.
No. I think it was, who was the guy from Holes and from Transformers?
I don't know. We got like 5 seconds left, so get your point out.
No, it doesn't matter. He did a similar thing. There was like a famous guy that went out and let anyone, he had like a booth and he let people do stuff to him as like it's like an art exhibit thing. He also put that flag somewhere with the
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
All right. Well, thanks for using the last little thing on that. Good thing we figured out it was Shia LaBeouf. Hey, Hypothetically, episode 41, everybody. Fuck.